COVID-19 has made things even worse. What type of a nation do we have? That is the message that Haggai has. So with dwindling economy, with hollow politics, and loss of trust on the institutions, I pray that this month of July, as we go through civic education, our consciences will be pricked to return to God and to give Kenya to God. Why do we focus too much in this country on the office of the president? I know it's an important office, but in the pre-2010 constitution, the president had power, and we saw it with Moi. But when we did the promulgation of the constitution in 2010, devolved governments were empowered. Can I tell you something? If you get it wrong at the MCA level, if you get it wrong at the MP level, if you get it wrong at governor's level, even if you have the best president, it's all useless. It will collapse. It will collapse, let me tell you. We have focused too much on the president. And you know, Kenya, our constitution is pro-America. How can America continue to be great with Trump as a president? It is because their systems were working. You can have a bad guy at the top, but so long as you have your parliament right, if you have your devolved parliaments right, if you have the IBC, the judiciary systems, the police, the teachers, everybody doing their job, it doesn't matter the guy at the top. And I'm not saying you go for a corrupt one. As long as the motivation for leadership in this country is about power and money, which is true, that is the motivation why people want to be in leadership, then we should not expect a miracle. That's why I told you, when you do that meter, evaluate yourself first. Don't evaluate the 4 presidential candidates first. If you're not doing well as a person, what miracle do you expect at the top there? It's only in Africa where a leader who has been in power for 37 years blames the previous regimes for the problem in the country. There are 2 highlights that I want to bring to your attention as we conclude. What is the manifestos of the presidential candidates? Have you looked at them? Don't tell me yes, you haven't. You don't read them. Can they be achieved? Can we afford them? Are they realistic? The dead horse is being ruffled. Don't you remember stadiums where the old dead horse raffles? Were they done? No. The roads that we were promised, were they done? The laptops for our children, were they done? Why do you get lied at? And you clap and you get entertained. How sad that our politicians cheat us. I pray that this country will not just be held by politicians, but will be held by institutions that hold a country. The judiciary, the media, the police, the civil servants, the county governments, the IBC. As we pay taxes, because Jesus says we need to pay taxes to Caesar, who is the current government, we must ask a further question. Are the taxes giving us value for our money? Unfortunately, the church has become captive of our politicians. That's why they come here and they demand to speak. I ask them. I have members of the church who have been here for so long and they have paid their tithes and supported this church, yet they don't speak here. What has a politician to do with the pulpit, with the podium? Come here, sit down, worship, go home. But you know what? You Christians, you want to be entertained by your corrupt politicians. You want them to display money in public. You want to demand on them. Recently, I was speaking in a conference, and it was for the Christian aspirants. And one of them told us, our greatest problem is not the masses, it is the pastors. Because you go to one meeting, and there are 20 pastors with Harambee cards. I'm buying a car, we are building, by the time an aspirant leaves a station, he has 10. Can you imagine if he goes to 20, 30? He has cards like this. Another one came to see me and told me, he was told, sisi tunakupenda, wewe ni Mkristo. We only want you to be our guest of honor here, sisi tutafanya campaign. He trusted them. And there were all churches in one particular area who said we must elect so and so. And he trusted the church. He thought he would get the votes. And he had given all his money to the church, or to the churches. He got less than 1,000 votes. If the church is corrupt, it can't heal the nation. If you are corrupt as an individual, you can't heal the nation. And so the question about the church and government and politics starts with me, starts with you. We shouldn't expect a miracle at the top. And I can tell you this, and I'm not a prophet, but I can tell you this, after the 9th of August, no miracle will happen. Because a system produces one of its own. If we are a corrupt people, we'll only have a corrupt one at the top. Think about that. We'll talk about it more on Sunday.